Hi, it's Angie Hunt from LDRS Creative, and I'm here at Scrapbook.com. We're going to show you a really fun and simple way to make an easel card. We're going to use our Fancy Squares and Little Things die set, and we're going to focus today on this half die and one of the really special things you can do with that. Let me show you the card that we're going to make today. I'm going to flip that up. We call this an easel card because it sits like an easel. We have everything in this die set to cut and embellish this card. We're going to start by taking a 6 by 12 piece of white cardstock. I'm going to lay that on my score pail, and I'm going to score it twice. Once at the 6-inch mark, and then again at the 3-inch mark. And then I'm going to fold those over and press them in. Once at the 3-inch, and then again at the 6-inch. So you can see we've already got the beginnings of that easel card. Next, we're going to take two beautiful patterns from our Eleganza 6x6 paper pack by Polka Doodles. I've chosen two beautiful coordinating sheets, and I'm going to place one of them on the top of my card. I'm actually going to score this just a little, or not score, but tape it a little bit in the center there. So I'm going to place the first piece down. I always cut the top sheets just slightly smaller than the base, than the card base, so that it has a little bit of a frame around it. And then we're going to put a little bit of adhesive on the bottom, or on the second sheet, to go on the inside. Then I'm going to place it back on my scoreboard, and I'm going to score once again at that 3-inch mark, going right over that pattern piece. And I run through it a couple of times because I have more than one piece of paper there, and I'm going to fold that over. Next, we want to use our half die so that we can cut that half piece at the top that's going to help us to easily create the easel. So I've already used some washi tape to secure it just above my score line. I want to open up the card because I don't want to cut through both layers of the card. I'm going to lay it down, complete the sandwich on my Big Shot, and I'm going to run this through, and then you're going to see how easily that pops up. We remove the die, and now you can see that using that half die, we've really easily created that easel shape. Next up, we're going to use all of our dies in our stamps, and we're going to create all of these embellishment pieces. I'm going to demonstrate just a couple of those for you. One of my favorite dies to work with is this Dainty Doily border die. We created this die because we wanted you to have a die where you could have very intricate and elegant lace at your fingertips. So I'm going to place the die. I've already got it on the paper. I've secured it with a little bit of washi tape. I'm putting it on my Sizzix Big Shot, and I'm going to run this through very easily and wait until you see how this comes out. Oh my gosh, there it goes. See, now that's why we put that coating on there. Did you see that just fly out of there? If you do have a few pieces left over, all you're going to do is run this through, or run this over with your tool-in-one, and you're just going to easily watch them fall out. Look at that. Perfect, beautiful lace every time at your fingertips. No more running to the store and trying to buy all that really expensive lace. So we've already got our colored image. I've placed one of my square dies. This is the smallest square die. I'm going to put that face down, and we're going to run that back through the machine. And now these dies have these little piercings all around the side. So even though it's going to pop out really easily, you might still have to get it started just to release some of that stitching, because that stitching, they're really tight together and they're really small. So next we're going to start assembling this card. I'm going to start with the pieces that are in the background first. The first one is going to be that beautiful dainty doily border. I'm going to secure that down with a little bit of adhesive. I've already cut a square with the larger square. We're going to put that right on that easel flapper where we cut it with that half die. And then on top of that is going to go one of our images. There you go. And then I like to take care of the inside as well. And I've used, again, the larger square die just on a little bit of white cardstock. We're going to place that in the middle. So this gives somebody perfectly beautifully finished card on the inside. They can stamp, or you can stamp, or you can write a sentiment there if you'd like. You can see how our easel card is functioning. And now we're going to further embellish. I've got some smile die cuts here that I cut with our TLC Expression Smile die. It's a beautiful purple die. Easy release once again. I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive down. I cut this in two colors for a reason. The lighter color I want to use adds a little bit of a shadow in the background. So I'm going to offset the darker one on top of it just a little bit, so it's beautifully layered and just adds a little bit of dimension and extra interest on the front. And then from all of these accessory pieces, these all look like buttons. I don't know if you can see these really well or not. Let me put that in my hand. They all look like buttons. They have all the little holes and they're all stitched all around the edges as well. And when we do these, I'm going to add a little bit of glue down or adhesive. I like to fold up the edges on these. We're all about texture. You want to make sure, because we have the easel action happening here, that all of your adhesive is going to go only around this edge. You want to make sure it's not going to go up around the top part, because we don't want to lose the functionality of that easel. So we're just going to place a few of these down. You can see how fast this goes. Pop that up a little bit. I'm going to add a really cute little heart top here. And you can keep going. You can add as much as you want. We're going to do a little bit on the inside as well, because we want this to stand up. Right now, if I open this up like so, it's just going to slide right down. There's nothing to hold it. So we want to think about the inside, and we want to think about where that position is going to be. Okay? So I'm going to place a little bit of adhesive here. Again, pop up those edges, just bend it up a little bit, and start placing these pieces down. A little bit of adhesive again. Pop up those edges. Just going to add a couple more for a little bit of interest. And you can go on forever with these. You can cut as many as you want with all kinds of different colors and stuff. But look how that holds that. Isn't that beautiful? I've got another example of what you can do with that half die as well. This is something that we call a flip card. And I'm going to do this slowly so you can see everything that you can do with this. This is what it looks like from the front. And I left this one without all the extra little embellished accessory pieces because I want you to focus mainly on how it functions. So here is our first position. It opens up. I can flip this down through. There's your flip. I can fold that in. I can open it up again. I can turn the whole thing around. I can open up again. I can flip, and then I can bring it back into the center. So when I open this up, you're going to see it's done with the same 6x12 piece of cardstock. It's still scored at 6 inches. It's scored again at 3. I turned it on its side. If you remember, we started this way with the other card, in this direction like this, if it were set up like that. This one we turned on its side, and we can flip it all around. These are a ton of fun. These really pack a lot of punch. This is all done with that half die, fully embellished with the fancy squares and little things. You can do tons of these. You can really impress your family and friends. I hope that you're going to enjoy this die set as much as I do. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't wait to see how you use your fancy square set. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happy crafting!